Howdy YouTube. I hope everything is going well for you. I hope you've had a good week. I hope that you are safe and healthy as your family. This week I thought I would talk a little bit about tone. If you're a guitarist and you hear the word tone, it's a very controversial subject. I'll get that out. A very controversial subject because is it all in the hands? Is it all in the wood of the guitar? Is it the headstock? Is it the tuners? Is it the amp? The pedals? Anyway, we're not getting into that, to be fair. I'm just going to have a bit of a discussion about different tones and how they can be beneficial in regulating how we're feeling. Okay, what they can do to help with your nervous system. Okay, so if you've got feelings of anxiety, stress, distress, and all of the above, we could use some of these sort of different tones to try and help us regulate. So for anybody that's new, my name's Frankie. I'm a mental health nurse. I have been for a number of years, and I've worked in care for a long time. Ultimately, my goal for the channel is to hopefully build like a nice sort of network of people to support each other, particularly aimed at guys. We know obviously there's a lot of mental health problems out there, and people are struggling, and hopefully we can use the guitar to actually help regulate before we become unwell. So that's the general idea of it. So as I said, we're going to have a wee think about tone. How many of us are guilty of doom scrolling on our phones day in, day out? We go to work, or maybe we don't work, maybe we're unable to work, whatever it is that's impacting your mood, and you're sitting there and you're on this phone. Okay, so this is where the problem lies, is our phone takes over. They're very useful, they're great, but there's times where we're sitting there and we're just literally spend hours go by and we're on this phone scrolling through social media and different things, and before we know it, we've wasted half a day. And that impacts on our mood because we're not doing anything as such, you know, and there's a lot of negativity in the world just now. So let's try and break that cycle, and let's pick up a guitar and we'll do some stuff together. So I've done a wee bit of research about, you know, what tones would be good with releasing things like dopamine and you know, the chemicals, the brain chemicals that we have, and some of the tones that can help with our nervous system. Okay, some of the things that I noticed that I found out was starting off with sort of clean tones, those kind of nice warm tones. Right, that's good for kind of grounding, regulation, and soothing. So when we are feeling quite distressed, angry, frustrated, or whatever it is, whatever that emotion is that we're going through or you're going through, we can very much just use, and happy to use sort of nice cowboy chords to do it. You do what you can do. At the end of the day, if you're only able to change a couple of chords, then that's absolutely fine as well. You don't need to be a professional guitarist or an amazing guitarist to do these sort of exercises. So we start off with some nice clean tones, and see how we get on. also kind of point out that the previous videos that I've done, it's about breathing exercises. These are really good for regulation. I would encourage everyone to go back and watch the videos, and please do give me some insight as to how things are going for you. Have these things worked for you? Because, as I've said in pretty much every video, you know, it's not a one size fits all. Some things are a wee bit different for different people. So it would be really good to hear and find out if you have found any benefit, you know, have these things been beneficial for you. Okay, so we'll start with some clean tones and just think about the grounding, regulation and sort of soothing aspects of them. So I tend to just go straight for a D chord because that to me feels quite relaxing. You know, again, I've obviously started doing the breathing exercises and things before I even start this, so I know that I'm pretty chilled out. If I was to go through all the video, sort of accumulate everything that I do before I start playing guitar, we could potentially be here a while. So, you know, you go back, you do you, see what works, whether it's a rhythm video, the 3 notes, or the sort of breathing exercises to see how you get on with that. So the clean tones, again, as I say, it's to help sort of with grounding. These are exercises we're using. We're not playing guitar as we're going to, you know, learn a new song at this point in time. Absolutely, that comes, but at this moment in time, it's about relaxation, sort of feeling as though these things can be therapeutic, although I'm not being a therapist. It's just that's you know, it gives us coping mechanisms, it builds resilience. These are the things that we're looking for. Okay, so the clean tones, as I say, and I do agree that, you know, that I find that it definitely helps with soothing, and it's just gentle strumming patterns. That's all it is. Again, you're a musician, you're making music when you're doing this. Get lost in these chords, get lost in the music, get lost in the sound. Put a set of headphones on. Take away all those external factors that are causing the anxiety. Put your phone to one side, obviously after watching the video. Or put me on a laptop and then you can put the phone to the side. That could potentially work. Anyway, yeah, try and stay off of stuff like social media and that for a while, so that you can try and get your head around everyday life and stuff like that, and use this as a distraction for all that. Headphones, no external noise, no external anxieties. Focus solely on what you're doing. Essentially, you're making music. Clean tones are brilliant. Okay. Other things that we can do is really good for that sort of attention. If you're not looking to just sort of regulate your mind and soothe and calm in nature, you can do some bright and percussive stuff that kind of pushes us, makes us more alert, makes us more thinking. It's less relaxing as such. So, you know, if you are doing just up to the chords that you know. Don't know what happened. 4 went a bit funky there, sorry. Stick with the chords that you know. Try and get that kind of percussive nature. How do we do that? How do we get that kind of percussive nature? Well, when we're strumming, we're pressing down on the strings and then we're lightening our fingertips. So we're pressing down and then we're not pressing down, and that's how we're getting that kind of percussive nature. And that's good for sort of like, right, okay, you know, to attention, this is the things that we need to be, this, I need to deal with this and I need to deal with that. And that makes us a bit more sort of alert, yeah. Especially if we're feeling that sort of lethargy, not quite ourselves, fatigue. That's maybe help, yeah. Other cool stuff, again, going back to that sort of, you know, soothing, but immersion and calming effect. Get yourself a nice reverb and delay, and just play some nice calm. Remember the breathing exercises. You need to be able to breathe. We all breathe. We have to breathe. You know, we need oxygen in our bodies, so we have to breathe. So remember to breathe. And if you breathe, you use breathing exercises. That's many times I've said the word breathe. But if you use those exercises from the previous video, you know, that will help, and it will calm you down, and hopefully playing this for a while, you know, you will find yourself immersed in the chords and the music, and you'll find yourself not worrying or overthinking at that point. That's the point in this, is, you know, as I say, that's the whole concept is no overthinking. I do like an ambient sound. Lovely. Lovely. I think anyway. Well, we go to some of the fun stuff though. Let's make some noise. Oh, you might want to turn down a wee bit at this point because it might get a bit loud. It might get loud. Great documentary if you've never seen it. So, what do we look at now? A bit of distortion, okay, again. How are you feeling? Are you feeling quite anxious? Are you feeling that you really want to have a bit of sort of just letting things go? Or do you want that containment? Do you want to contain things, just like, right, okay, you know, let's suppress a bit? Sometimes suppressing a little bit can help. Not a lot, but a little bit. So we could just do a wee bit of palm muting. So, those kind of pamphlets can help if there's something that we need to contain a little bit, right? But we don't want to contain things, we want to get things away. We're looking for a release, we're looking for emotional discharge. I don't know how that looks, but anyway, you know, and sometimes we just want to increase our energy. So we're not just thinking about palm muting. Sorry about the flubbiness at the end there. Blah, 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 blah. It's a big muff. So, I like to use a bit of fuzz on some of my tones, especially if I'm playing a lot of the bands. There's probably a bit of a theme in some of the bands that I listen to, and I quite often play them. And again, because see, when I get it right, And can I just point out that I could play this 9 out of 10 and get it right. But the minute you're filming, that makes it different. Right, so mistakes are in, mistakes are good. They make us grow, or they help us grow. We'll learn. Practice makes progress. And we can make progress together, because that's the hope. So that's just a few sort of ideas around tone and what tone can do for us. If any of you have played guitar for a while, maybe in the same sort of level or standard as myself, or maybe you are an absolute legendary player, and you're phenomenal. Think back to the first time you got one of your favourite songs. Think back to, whatever that song may be, and you managed to get at least about a third through it or whatever. How did it make you feel? Right, so again, we're going back to that's that release, that dopamine, and then the chemistry in our brain, everything's firing because that excitement, adrenaline. It's an amazing feeling when you get something like that down. Which is why we do these, that's why we play guitar and we do these things. So, quick recap, stop doom scrolling, put your phone to the side with my video on, and pick up your guitar, stick a set of headphones on, and use some of the tones on your guitar and your amplifier and your pedals and whatever it is that you've got access to, and see how those tones help regulating your mood and your mindset at that moment in time. As always, I can't thank people enough for watching the videos, and the people who have already subscribed to the channel. I mean, it means a lot. If you can, let us know how things are kind of going. Maybe comment in the on the videos. I will get back to people. Maybe if you want to make some suggestions for the channel, absolutely. I'm all ears. What's happening with you is the most important thing. Okay, and how you're feeling at that moment in time, and the distraction is what it's all about. If you are unfortunately at a bit of a stage where these things might not work for you, I can't urge you enough to please go and get some professional help. There is no stigma. There is no one going to be judging you, because you need that help, okay? And that's a lot better than, much worse happening, okay? Don't let it get out of control is what I'm asking. As I say, I'll probably put some stuff down in the description, the video description, with maybe some phone numbers for Samaritans in the UK, crisis numbers if I can find some. If you are really struggling, NHS 24 out of hours is your friend, and if that doesn't work and maybe your loved one needs help, a bit of help, support, just go straight to A&E and ask for it. So thanks again for watching the videos. If you have managed to get all the way through them, I know I waffle a lot, but it's good fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy hopefully reaching out to you guys, and hopefully finding things, who are all finding things helpful. I don't edit the videos because I'm not trying to be professional. I'm trying to have kind of an enjoyable experience in helping people, and I hope that people are able to appreciate that. And remember, mistakes are good, so we'll learn from them. So thank you very much, and I hope that this has been a helpful video, and we'll get another one sorted for next week. Take care, look after yourself, stay safe, and look after your friends. Check those brothers out. A simple text message of how are you getting on, or a phone call will go a long way. Cheers, thanks again.